Welcome, panelists, to our session on transforming learning through empowering students and teachers. My name is Rima Kaisi. I'm the managing partner at D3 Consultants. I will start by introducing our company, D3 Consultants, with our partners, New Nordic School from Finland. We offer turnkey operating and management solutions to K-12 schools, higher education, and private training sectors. We work along with our partners in providing the highest quality of services to organizations who are interested in transforming the learning journeys of their students and preparing them for an ever-changing future. We also work with investors interested in learning about the education market and setting up K-12 schools in the GCC and internationally. We have a video to share with you about our services, so please bear with us.
We are international education experts. At D3 Consultants, we manage, operate, and provide customized solutions for educational organizations such as nurseries, kindergartens, K-12, training centers, and higher education. Our solutions are innovative, customized, and unique. We are specialized in providing quality education expertise for startups, as well as providing support to existing educational institutions to elevate their performance standards and reach their goals.
First panelist in today's session is Bradley Kremer, Director of Education at New Nordic School Company. He will briefly share his presentation on the future-ready curriculum that they have developed, which is at the core of the transformation of learning.
Thanks, Rima. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here today. Let me pull this up. And hopefully now, here we are. So I'm here to inform you about New Nordic School's future-ready curriculum, which we call the Nordic Baccalaureate curriculum. As you've mentioned, New Nordic School is based in Finland. Finland is well renowned for its education system. It's also renowned for a number of other characteristics around the world. It has one of the narrowest learning gaps between the weakest and the strongest students in the world. It has consistently ranked amongst the highest in the world on PISA scores. It has the highest literacy rate globally. It is according to official statistics from This is Finland, it is the second best country in equality and fairness for all children. And more than 90% of all students continue their studies after finishing compulsory education. We call our curriculum the Nordic Baccalaureate, and we are New Nordic School. And so we reference the Nordic way. This is kind of the Finnish heart or the Finnish basis of our curriculum. And our education system is based very broadly on Finland's national core curriculum for basic education. And there are really some key characteristics in the Finnish system that we have incorporated into our own model. We want equal opportunities for everyone. I think it's essential these days that technology is a ubiquitous part of our students' lives, and we want to use it in a supportive way, not to alienate people, but to actually support their learning. One of the things that my own child really appreciated about his time in Finnish schools is the emphasis on learning through play. And it's such an important part of the daily life of students in Finland. Personalized learning, so it's not just about churning students through a system like a factory production where everyone is getting the exact same experience. It's really about crafting the learning experience to each individual. There is a de-emphasis on homework. The work that students do takes place primarily during school hours. There is homework, but it is not hours and hours of homework like you see in other systems. Learning is meant to be lifelong. When you look at all the different stages of the Finnish education system, beginning with early childhood through primary, lower secondary, upper secondary, then into tertiary education, there's of course many opportunities for continuing education and adult education. All of that education at all of those levels is meant to be very inclusive. And one of the the most fundamental components of Finnish education that's really central to our model is the autonomy of teachers and schools to operate in a way that best addresses the needs of the students immediately in front of them. So our curriculum, again called the Nordic Baccalaureate curriculum, is built upon the Finnish curriculum, but has also brought in various elements from around the world to make it a truly global approach. And we consider the Nordic Baccalaureate to be an educational journey it is fully integrated. Here we have 4 stages. I think most people will be quite familiar with these 4 stages. We have the exploration stage, which is for early childhood education. Then our foundation stage targets primary learners in grades 1 through 6. The formation stage in blue is designed for the unique developmental needs of students in lower secondary or middle school. And then our direction stage is built on the Finnish Lukio system and targets students who are 16 to 18 years old at entry in grades 10 through 12. So that's our upper secondary offering. The Nordic Baccalaureate curriculum has 6 essential elements that I think really set it apart from other curricula around the world. The first is that it's a future-ready curriculum because it fosters some of those really desirable characteristics that employers are looking for: creativity, collaboration, communication, critical thinking. Those are brought about through our systematic approach of our interdisciplinary units. We really want to emphasize the mindful well-being of our students. School should not be a stressful experience for children. There's enough time to experience stress as an adult. We don't need to have that. We don't need to have kids going through that as well. So a significant portion of the learning experience is actually about learning to manage daily life, take care of work and responsibilities while also taking care of one's own holistic health. We really want kids to see the purpose of what they're learning in the classroom. In my years in the classroom, every year, every class, students would ask, "Mr. Creamer, why are we learning this?" Students always want to know why they're doing it. And so we have designed the curriculum to be very purposeful for students, to tie together with topics of interest to them, and show them how they can apply their learning to real world scenarios. We have established ways for our curriculum to be highly personalized. Students have a lot of autonomy and voice to determine not only what they learn, but how they learn it and how they share that learning. The curriculum is competency-based. Those competencies are drawn directly from the Finnish curriculum, and they're a combination of learning tools that can apply to any subject, any grade level, and also well beyond school. And some of those competencies also form a context for learning in relation to things going on in the world beyond the school walls. And our entire curriculum is built on an interdisciplinary model, so that instead of students learning classes in isolation, they do take individual subject classes, but the projects that they embark on are always linking subject matter from different courses. So those are our 6 features of the Nordic Baccalaureate curriculum. As I mentioned, the curriculum is competency-based, and these are taken directly from the Finnish National Core Curriculum. Pardon me. And these competencies are advantageous for students for a number of reasons, in that they generally help narrow achievement gaps between your high and lower, and your high achievers, your lower achievers. It means that teachers have increased flexibility to adapt to the needs of the children in front of them. It is a design for mastery rather than just rote memorization of facts and concepts. And then it also provides a really wide range of ways for teachers to assess learning and provide feedback to students. And that's really what makes it a personalized approach to learning. We have designed all of the units of learning in the Nordic Baccalaureate curriculum to be interdisciplinary. At the core of those interdisciplinary units are broad concepts or phenomena drawn directly from the UN Sustainable Development themes, and these themes link what students are learning in classrooms to what's going on in the world around them. So for example, here on the screen I have an elementary or primary school level quest, which students have been instructed to find 5 ways their family can reduce their impact on oceans and marine life. And what that means in an interdisciplinary setting is that in language classes, students are reading stories, they're researching, they're writing about the oceans and people living near them. In their art classes, they may be illustrating ocean life. In mathematics, they're actually using math skills to collect and process data, perhaps from surveys or from some of the research that they've done in their language classes. We call the humanities people. So this is in social studies and geography and civics. They may look at maps and look at how people are buying and selling and trading economic goods and services related to the oceans. And then in sciences, of course, you have things like the life cycles and the water cycle and food webs in the ocean, survivals of individuals and groups. So all of the content in all of the subjects that a student studies are drawn back repeatedly to this theme that's central to the unit of learning. And that unit is called a quest, right? And we call it a quest because every child has a personal experience throughout that time period. And it's a 6-phased process that we take students through. The first we call inspire or investigate. This is really a research phase of the quest. And from that research, students will generate a variety of questions, especially the ones of the why and how and to what extent variety. And those questions form the basis of a plan to actually create a project and follow it through to completion over the course of the other stages of the quest. Then students begin to apply their content knowledge and their skills. They actually begin to apply what they're learning in classes as they further develop their project. They create several prototypes and drafts and evaluate how they may address some of the questions that came out of their research. Then we encourage students to go through self-assessment practices where the students are actually looking at the assessment criteria, they're looking at the learning objectives, and they're designing their project specifically to address the criteria or the parameters established from those learning objectives. And that process is guided by the teacher, but the teacher is not awarding grades or achievement levels or mastery levels to students. We want the students to be involved in that evaluation and assessment process. Then once students have really evaluated kind of where their progress is and how well they're meeting their goals, they kind of put everything together. They start bringing in the knowledge and the skills from different courses, different subjects, and incorporate that with the feedback that they've gotten from peers and from their teachers. And then they actually present their product and share it with an authentic audience. And the idea is that students' products, what they are sharing with an audience, is meant to be an impactful product. It should have a personal impact, and it should have some type of a positive communal social impact as well. And that's why we say that that's a transforming part of the learning process. And one of the reasons it's transformative is because students have the autonomy to really personalize the way that they share their learning. So students can choose from a range of performance tasks. These tend to mimic the kinds of experience people will have outside of school. Each of these tasks, it's one task that can be assessed through multiple subjects. Students get to choose the kind of task, and the idea is that because there's a choice here, there's a menu that students will choose things, students will choose things that highlight their unique characteristics and talents. And this will increase their engagement with what's going on in the classroom. And when we pull all of these systems together, it really makes the learning purposeful for students, because they actually begin to see the connections not only between the math and the science and the languages and the arts and the humanities subjects that they're studying in school, but they're seeing how those subjects relate to current events and issues happening at home or in their neighborhood or the community or in the world at large. And when you overlay that with students' own cultural background and family history, begin to really make that learning relevant to the student, and that ties into their own personal values and the things that they're passionate about, their interests, and things that they find important. And that's really what brings purpose to the learning that students experience at New Nordic School. So that is our Nordic Baccalaureate curriculum in a nutshell, and that is based on how we do things the Finnish way.
Thank you, Brad, for enlightening us and for sharing this very informative presentation about the future readiness. Fortunately, we were able to pilot these programs at Al Hikma International School in Bahrain this academic year in the elementary department, and we have with us today the school principal, Ms. Maya, and the assistant principal for the elementary department, Ms. Rana. And we are going to be welcoming them to our session, and we look forward to learning from you about this exciting journey that you have embarked on this year, aiming to transform the learning experience of our students. I will start by asking Ms. Maya about how this journey started all along.
Thank you, Ms. Rima. Thank you, Mr. Brad. Well, Al Hikma International School offers an American curriculum, and it is part of our school improvement plan to find a new innovative tools and programs that enriches the student learning journey and truly equip them with global competencies and 21st century learning skills. We were thrilled to have this pilot initiative at Al Hikma International School campus in Bahrain. The team at New Nordic provided extensive training for the involved stakeholders and provided the tools necessary for us to be engaged in the process. They started by surveying the students, the parents, and the teachers to gather sufficient data prior to starting the process. And they provided us with a roadmap on how to go about the training, and staff and reporting on success criteria will be outlined. We were very pleased with the support and the pleasant approach of the NS team in making this process seamless in these challenging times of virtual learning. And we look forward to reviewing the impact on student learning in a couple of months.
Thank you, Ms. Maya.
Glad that it's been a positive experience for you.
That's great. That's a good start. So with Ms. Rana, I'd like to ask you if you can share with us more information about the best practices shared during the training and the collaborative work that was done with the NNS team, please.
Thank you, Ms. Rima. Thank you, Mr. Brad and Ms. Maya. The training that was provided shed light on very interesting cross-curricular initiatives called the Quest that focused on promoting discovery and student involvement using fun and play activities. The activities and learning tools provided established positive mindsets and promoted behavior supporting lifelong learning. The Quest we are working on in elementary bridges the achievement gaps, inspires students' inquisitive learning, explores issues that expand their knowledge, combines ideas into solutions, which all lead to learning becoming impactful. As we all know, linking content to current events and global issues is at the heart of preparing students for the unknown future.
Thank you, Ms. Rana. And I believe this process is going started recently in January, and hopefully within the next couple of months as well, you can have more depth in the reflection on the impact on the learning. Thank you everyone for shedding light on this innovative and positive Finnish-driven experience. And we strongly believe that engaging the students in real-life hands-on learning experiences will fortify their understanding and depth of knowledge. In addition to our partnership with the NNS, we also have partners who offer creative tools that supports and enhance the performance of schools through integration of technologies such as Arabic learning platforms, student management systems, learning management systems, and extensive digital library. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.